Well, it's either the end of the world or common sense deregulation. We're talking about the Federal Communications Commission vote to end net neutrality. Dr. Michael Savoy teaches business at UT Dallas. In very simple terms, what the heck is net neutrality and why do I care?
All right, well, in 25 words or less, net neutrality is that the internet service providers, the people that you connect to connect to the internet, net neutrality means that they cannot regulate that connection in any way, shape, or form. So wherever you want to go, you get to go, and they can't charge you extra. Everybody's got to be treated the same.
It's kind of like the difference between a freeway and a tollway.
Exactly.
One of them you drive for free, and one of them you got to pay to drive on.
Great example. Great example of that. And so the issue right now, what we're getting into, is this issue of regulated versus deregulated. And so the vote yesterday was to basically deregulate the internet service providers, which means that they can charge whatever they want to charge to the consumers depending on what you want to access. The reality, however, is that most of these internet service providers are treated as monopolies. And if they're a monopoly under federal law, then they should be regulated. And
well,
so that's the debate.
Yeah, and you and I personally are in two different situations. You got one wire running down the alley outside of your home, so you have one choice. You basically are a customer of a monopoly provider.
Correct.
I happen to have three of them going down my alley, so if I decide this morning I don't like AT&T, I pick up the phone and call the cable company or the other guy. I have three choices, so I can basically play one against the other.
And that's it exactly, and that's what you're seeing in the lawsuits and stuff, is this issue of, am I a captured consumer? Meaning that I only have one choice, and therefore that company can charge me whatever they want to charge me and only allow me to access whatever they want me to access. Whereas you have a multiple of choices, and therefore a deregulated environment for you is perfectly fine.
Right, and one of the problems becomes that the providers, the company that puts that wire into my house and provides internet service, now wants to become a content provider. So for example, AT&T will maybe providing a streaming video service that competes with Netflix.
Exactly. And what they can do in a situation like that is they can say, well, if you use our streaming media service, AT&T's, right, then you get it for free. But if you want to go to Netflix, we're going to charge you an extra X amount of dollars per month. Or they'll turn around to Netflix and say, if you want to put your service on our network for free, then we're going to charge you so much more a month for each one of the providers.
Right, and a sea change in the way it is looked at. The Trump administration says this is deregulating, taking the shackles off of business. The Obama administration said this is a public utility.
Correct, and that's the fundamental issue right now. And so the lawsuits that you're seeing, the issues on either side of the fence is exactly what you just described. It's, our internet service providers, is that a public utility? Is internet access a public right, basically, for the consumer? Or is it something that that should be free market, should be private, and you should have to pay whatever the market values are? The issue comes into play when you blend those two together. When you start saying someone is a monopoly, but we're going to let them operate as a private company. That's where the problems come in, and that's where the lawsuits are coming from.
And the lawsuits undoubtedly will take years to unravel which direction we're going to go in.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Great
25 words or less on net neutrality. How about that?